Welcome back to our channel, and thank you for tuning in and thank you for supporting us. But if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please encourage us by doing so that we can bring you the latest news as they happen. And together we can support our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, and Eastern Security Network to make our Biafran dream a reality and put the Fulani Janjaweed to shame. He say the Fulani Supreme Court Chief Justice of Nigeria, Mohammed TANKO, blasted the ex-governor of Ebonyi State, Dave UMAHI, that UMAHI allowed the impostor Buhari to fool and deceive him. And now they have abandoned UMAHI, and UMAHI is running to the Chief Justice for help. Justice TANKO warned the ex-governor, UMAHI, not to run to him, that he will not be able to help him in any way, because the Fulani Nigerian government have warned him not to help the ex-governor UMAHI, and UMAHI should stop disturbing him with phone calls, text messages, and sending people to him to solicit for help. You know, according to the APC legal giant, Professor Etse Sage San, Chairman Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, he said that the Ebonyi State ex-governor Dave UMAHI and his deputy Kelechi Igwe, who were sacked by Justice Inyang Ekwo of the Federal High Court, Abuja, on the grounds of their defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress, APC, may lose their case at the appeal courts. Professor Sage said it is likely that the judgment by the Federal High Court, Abuja, may have been sustained by the appeal court, and that UMAHI is just wasting his time. Sage said UMAHI may have a problem in the appeal court because the judgment was in line with the Supreme Court ruling that removed Celestine Omeha and installed Chibuike Amechi as the Rivers State governor some years back. Sage said he definitely knows there will be an appeal on that ground, that there is no specific mention of that line in the Constitution. The judge only did it by implication. It is permissible in law to do it. When the law takes off from one point, you can extend it to another point by implication. That is why he is relying on Supreme Court judgment in Amechi's case, where it was held that it is the political parties that are elected, not the individual. If you go back to that principle alone, when it was the PDP that was elected, that Amechi's judgment was a governorship case too, just like the one on Ebonyi, and it is very strong point to stand on. So UMAHI has no case. He has lost. He's our next governor. He should just vacate the Ebonyi State government house. He should vacate. Enough of all this Fulani slave he's been doing, killing Biafrans, conniving with the Fulani terrorists, and killing Biafrans. Let him go. So from the look of things, UMAHI have problem in the Court of Appeal, because the PDP lawyers will argue that this decision that is being appealed against was based on a Supreme Court decision, and so neither the High Court nor the Court of Appeal can change it. There is a fairly good chance that this judgment will be sustained and UMAHI will finally be kicked out. He will be kicked out. The Fulani-controlled AREWA youth threatened APC and PDP political parties not to zone 2023 presidency to the south after Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom warned the Buhari impostor to resign and hand over power to his Southwest Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo. The Fulani terrorist bandit AREWA youth leader, Yerima Shettima, threatened to shock the Southern unity begging politicians with fire and brimstone. The Fulani terrorist AREWA youth leader told the Yoruba Muslim who voted en masse for the Fulani Janjaweed in 2015 and 2019 that the Fulani will not vote for them or their candidates. The Fulani hoodlums parading themselves as AREWA youth are boasting because they have always rigged elections in Nigeria with underage voters and foreign Fulanis who they bring in from the Sahel. With all their threats, they have never won election with northern votes, except they find a gullible southern politicians that helps them deceive southerners for votes. There are only 13 million Fulani Janjaweed. You know, they might be less than that in the zoo called Nigeria, out of a total population of about 220 million Nigerians. And their Hausa slaves are just about 50 million. And the Fulani keep claiming that they own the number. They are only lying. These Fulani terrorists have no chance because northern minorities and southerners, whom they have been deceiving for decades, are now wise, and they make up the majority of the vote and population in Nigeria. And they know now that the Fulanis are their real enemies, not Biafrans, not IPOB, not Eastern Security Network, and not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So they are done. They are done. Violations against Biafrans, those who support self-determination for Biafra and members of organizations advocating for such, have included torture and ill treatment, arbitrary arrest and detention, enforced disappearance and threat to life, as well as extrajudicial killings. Limitations on right to freedom of expression, association, and assembly must be a legitimate interest, be necessary in a democratic society, and proportionate. And while this may be on ground of national security and public safety, such limitations should never be used as an excuse to silence critical or diverse voice. State must treat all associations equitably, regardless of their views, and this treatment must be guided by objective criteria that comply with international human rights laws where a registration regime exists. However, the proscription of IPOB, which was done illegally, has resulted in unlawful restriction on right to freedom of expression, assembly, and association, including arbitrary arrest of journalists who report on protests, banning pro-Biafran publication, and shutting down Radio Biafra. Those attending funerals of members of pro-Biafran supporters have also similarly been targeted, with police and compromised Nigerian security services attacking individuals as they attend or leave churches, with witnesses noting that the victims were told to denounce their Biafran identity. Thank you, my brothers and my sisters, for watching this video, and bye-bye for now.